All right, Coach. Had your last regular season double headers at home. There we go. Picking up a sweeps of Lubbock Christian on Senior Day on Friday and Midwestern State on Sunday. Just walk us through this weekend. How do you think your program performed?
Oh, this is a great weekend. 4-0 weekend against Lubbock Christian, most especially. They always give us a hard time. They're a very athletic, talented team who has a lot of power. So those games we knew coming in, we had to really be prepared for and not overlook them because, the main thing we all feel WT lingering, and the key is to focus one game at a time and to make sure that we take care of game one LCU, game two, then we got to deal with MSU. So to come out this weekend 4-0, now we are excited to look forward to next weekend, but it was a really big weekend. It was special because it was Senior Day. We had two seniors to celebrate this weekend. Tatiana Trotter, who's been with us for 4 years, and she has just grown incredibly in that time, and she is a leader for this team, and the team feels it, and her presence is always known on the field. So her, and then you pair with that, Carly Manny, and those two seniors, they really are the heartbeat of this team, and they work hard, and it shows in their outcomes. But those two alone, Friday against LCU, they just had a huge day. I know their teammates, they had a little celebration for them, a surprise in the locker room, and it really, I think, kicked off the day for them, and they brought that energy to the field for LCU. First inning, you felt it. Carly Manning, first batter of the game, she comes out, single up the middle, steal second base, and then we have a couple more hits in there. Tati gets a big double in the first inning. So the two seniors, they just set the tone for the whole weekend. So overall, that whole day, Tati, Carly, they just killed it. But yeah, we started off that first game strong with the seniors. Tati followed it up later in that game with a home run as well. So just a great day for them. We won that first one 9-3, and then strong pitching performance by Maddie. And then Addie came in to finish that game. Both of them have been really, really strong for us this year. And really, game two, we picked up right where we left off. Tati started off the first inning, 2-run home run. So that's another big start because, game two, sometimes there's a little bit of a letdown in game two, and we knew that they're a tough team. So game two set the tone early, 2-0 start. Tati ended up going 2 for 3 in that second game as well. So just a big day all around. Ash started that game, and we ended up going from her to Addie, and then Maddie came in when things got really tense in the end, and that's really when she shines. I think the bigger the situation, the better she does. And she just shut the door on them and ended the game with a huge strikeout with a big hitter, and at that point it was a 1-run game. So just a great job by her and the whole pitching staff. That depth is really helping us at this time of year, most especially. But an awesome day for the seniors on Friday. We followed it up Saturday. We had a senior luncheon to celebrate them. Shout out to our Backing the Bells group. They cooked an unbelievable meal for us, and we went over to the Christian campus center on campus there. Great day to celebrate with families and friends, especially after the big day Friday. And then straight there into yesterday, Midwestern. Those games were also exciting games. Game one, we took care of MSU 7-3 in that first game. Maddie had a great outing. One hit them, and the hit that she gave up was a bloop single. It just found a way to find the ground in the infield, just over her head that no one could get to. She also had 7 strikeouts in that game, which was huge. We busted open with a 6-run fourth inning. Until then, we were a little bit quiet with the bats, but we really woke up. I believe it was Laren Foigy that had a double in that fourth inning to get the first runs on the board, and then Zoe with a line drive shot for a home run in that inning as well. And I didn't even think it had enough air under it to get over the fence, maybe go right through it, but she just roped that ball. And then she followed it up later in the 6th inning with an absolute no-doubter to left field. It was a shot. So Zoe just had another great day for us. Game 2, Midwestern, the highlight of that game was Addie Ewing. She pitched her first, for us, complete game shutout. Just a great outing for her. She had 16 ground ball outs. So for her to that's exactly that's what she's here to do. She did a great job, and the defense was awesome behind her. So a great day for her, and I don't even remember how we scored in that game, but we did. So I know on the weekend, Abby had a good weekend at the plate. Ashley Dendis, I know she felt like 3 or 4 hit by pitches yesterday, a walk, some big hits. So our bats overall are really where they need to be at this time of year. We kind of got out of that mid-season funk and we're hitting balls hard and competing well at the plate. So we're in good shape for where we need to be for this coming weekend. Another note, yesterday too, I know we did not walk anybody yesterday. So we had 1 hit by pitch on the day. That'll happen, but no walks on the day is big for our staff.
And you briefly mentioned your upcoming matchup, a highly anticipated one you've had circled on the calendar for a while. We'll dive into that matchup more later, but for now, looking at the standings, 1 game separates Angelo State and West Texas A&M. The thing I want to know is the exact tiebreaker scenario here, if you know. Let's say you and A&M finish with the same record. If you get a split in Canyon, what does that scenario look like at the end of the season if you finish with the same record?
If we were to finish with the same record, it would go to head-to-head. Well, obviously head-to-head is your first one. So if we split with them, that one is aside. Then from there, it'd go the next, whoever's behind us. So let's say UT Tyler's behind us. What did we do with them? Okay, we swept them. WT got swept by them. That would be the next tiebreaker as far as I know. The way we were looking at it, it would be hard for us to end up with a tie with them, but I guess it's always possible. But hopefully, I mean, we're just going down there with mentality, you know, we want to win the first pitch, the first inning. Hopefully a tie is not in the question, but I mean, going there, we obviously know how hard that's going to be.
Yeah, I had to know, so we addressed that correctly on TV. Just want to make sure if that scenario happens, just how it would be handled. Okay, thanks for clarifying that. And then looking ahead, now you've won 12 straight and 15 of your last 16. Just what's been the common denominator of your success lately, and what gives you the utmost confidence you can go into Canyon and beat West Texas A&M?
Well, our bats are where they need to be. We're swinging at good pitches. We're having quality at bats. We're not chasing out of the zone. We are picking the pitches that we want to drive, and we're doing a good job of just putting the ball in play and having a good approach against our opposing pitchers. With WT, they've got a good pitching staff, but if we just go in there and attack the strikes, do what we need to do, keep hitting the ball hard. Swing for line drives, not necessarily swinging for the fence every time, but do what you can with the pitches you're throwing. I mean, I think we'll be in good shape. Offensively, our mentality is good right now. In the circle, we have the depth, and they know if I get pulled from the game, whoever's next has my back. So I think as a staff right now, we're in good shape. We're attacking the corners, using all of our pitches well. So I think overall, everything's gonna have to be firing on all cylinders. We know that, but we're in good position with the way we've been playing. Our focus is there. I think this team, we're ready to go.
Where's the girls' mentality at right now? Like on a big win streak, obviously some huge implications on the line here. Mm-hmm. Just where are they at in their headspace in the locker room right now?
We all have the same thing on our mind. It's a conference championship. That comes first. We also know that the potential to host in regionals, that's lingering out there. So no matter what happens Friday, we know that Sunday is important. Even if we lose to Friday, it's important that we hold our stance in the conference and in the regional rankings. Hosting, there's just no words to explain how big of an advantage it is to have, the city of San Angelo behind us, have that home field advantage to be able to sleep in your own bed. So for conference tournament and for regionals, the ability to be at home, that holds a lot of value. I think we're in a good headspace. We're focused on, what it takes to win the first inning. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves and look ahead. It's win the first pitch, win the first inning, and win each inning. But I think mentally, everybody's got the same goals in mind, and we all know that we're not gonna get there without just taking one pitch at a time.
Head coach Travis Scott makes it well known that you are the one who manages the pitching staff for your program. Walk us through the staff. Obviously, first as a team in the conference with a 2.55 ERA, obviously that's very good. And probably, at least for the first time since I've been here, the amount of arms that you have to work with looking at our website, of course, up to 6 different arms. I know he talks about 3 or 4 to 5 of them on a daily basis. So from your perspective, what is that like working with these pitchers? What do you like about these girls? Just being able to know that, hey, if there's something going on out there, I got 5 of their arms ready to go at any time.
Yeah, there's no doubt. They're a great group of humans. I mean, they're good people. They all support each other. They all have each other's backs. Like I said, they know if they get pulled out of the game, that whoever's next is going to come in and, do what they have to do to get us out of a jam. I feel like Addie usually gets us out of a jam. She'll just show up and all of a sudden pop fly, ground ball, and that pressure situation just, died down. And I think they all know that they're never in too big of a jam for the next person to come help out. They work so hard in the bullpen. I just really enjoy being out there with them. They're coachable. They all have their strengths, and we try to pair those strengths together as well as we can when we're, trying to figure out who's going to go into the game next. It may depend on, who's in and what style they throw. So I think we're lucky to have these girls. They work hard for us, and together they're a great staff.
And now, of course, the time that we're all kind of waiting for. Looking ahead to this weekend, you're on the road to take on West Texas A&M for what very well may determine the All-Star Conference regular season championship. And Canyon with 2 there. And then, of course, can't forget about Sunday, going on the road to face Eastern New Mexico Portales. So walk us through the weekend, and we can start with West Texas A&M. What are you anticipating for that matchup with the Lady Buffs?
There's no doubt WT is going to be the most offensive team we face this year. They have power numbers. I believe they're batting .389 as a team. They're a tough team to get outs. And then on top of that, put them on their home field, they're even tougher to get out. But that's where our pitchers, I'm going to talk to them a lot this week about letting your defense work. We don't expect to go strike them out a whole bunch. They're going to put the ball in play, let your defense work, work for the fly ball, the pop fly. It's just, we're just going to take one out at a time. Since they are so powerful. But they give up runs too. We're gonna have to just swing it with them. We're gonna have to be ready at the plate to take advantage of the good pitches we get. And we expect it's gonna be one of those games where we may get down at times, but we're gonna just know that we just have to keep fighting and keep scoring. We're just gonna score with them. So shutting them down, I don't really anticipate doing that. I think, sure, we're capable of it. And, with our staff, like I said, we have a very deep staff and we can, shuffle them however we need to. But it's just going to be an inning by inning kind of game. And we're just going to have to score with them and, try and get ahead when we can and just keep the ball in play, hitting line drives around the ballpark.
And then, of course, on Sunday with the Greyhounds.
Greyhounds, they are always scrappy. They like to talk a little bit. They like to fire things up, and sometimes our team does well with that. It kind of keeps you awake and, focus on the game. But they're always a scrappy group. They typically swing it well. They're athletic, and they have some pitching depth as well. So we're just going to have to get after them and stay focused. That's going to be that situation where you have that high of Friday, and win or lose, whatever happens. We're going to have to be extremely focused because that's a team that you can't take them for granted because they're just going to scrap with you and they're never out of it. So,
fantastic, Coach. Thank you for your time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.